So when it comes to listening to one another, there are ways that we listen, and there are listening styles. Um, the rejection. No, okay. There's the out and out rejection, like, oh, that's really dumb.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be, as it says, outright or subtle.
Subtle is, oh, honey, I'm sorry you feel that way. What you're saying is, I'm sorry, but the way you feel just isn't acceptable.
And I'm just going to tolerate what you have to say, but I'm really too busy to really have to listen to it. But I'm half listening, but at the same time, I'll just do it enough to make you feel like I've given you some attention.
And then the best way to listen, though, is with acceptance.
Right.
It's hearing what the other person has to say and taking it in. It's that beautiful saying that when one cries, the other one tastes the salt of the tears. It's that kind of acceptance where you're actually putting on what the other person feels.
So these listening styles, I can fix anything. Let me just hear enough to figure out how to fix it and we can move on. Then there's what? Didn't we just discuss this before?
Yeah, if I've heard this all before, I don't want to hear it again.
Mm-hmm. Or you listen enough to hear just enough so you can prepare your own response to something. There's our lovely daughter in the background.
Yeah, thank you.
Preparing the response in the background. Not background. She was in the background. Okay. And then, can I do something else when I listen? So you're listening to what they say, but you're cleaning the kitchen. Follow me around. You know, I'm busy right now. So you're really saying that I'm half involved in what you're having to say, but I'm still engaged.
And the next one is my personal problem. It's please, can you cut to the chase? I don't need the long way around. Just tell me bottom line. Where are we? Where's the bottom line? Because I don't have time to listen to all the ins and outs.
And that's kind of leans into the fact that sometimes we're just plainly impatient about it. I just don't have time for this right now.
Blast from the past.
Okay.
That's when it's something from earlier in my life, and it when you say it
surfaces.
It takes me back to that, and it's like all of a sudden do not want to deal with it.
Visit that at all because it brings up too many painful memories.
Yeah.
Oh, you poor thing. Let me see if I can make you feel better.
Yeah, that's not good.
And then blah, 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 blah,
yeah,
blah,
yada,
blah,
yada,
blah,
yada.
yada, yada. It's like Charlie Brown. Yeah. All the adults in Charlie Brown going, wow, wow, wow.
Okay, so when we are listening with our hearts, the one thing you need to do is be open.
Be open, decide to listen. Be fully present, okay? All of this has to do with open, decide, listen, the whole thing. How present am I going to be in a relationship? How much am I going to let her know that I am fully hers in everything that I'm discussing with her at that point? Be feedback. Okay, so after she said or he has said a few things, can you enough say, this is what I've heard you say, and to make sure that they know that you are engaged in the listening process.
Yeah, giving feedback also is, so is it like the time when, so that you're making a connection of trying to put on what they're feeling. Get beyond the words to the message. So
right.
Try to hear that meta messaging
right.
that's going on.
There have been situations where you're talking about something and you know that it's not quite, there's something there, that meta message is there, and it's enough to stay with it to get them to finally get to where they need to be and what they want to really say.
It's putting attention to the nonverbals,
mm-hmm.
and it's listening for the sake of the other person, because it's not all about us. It's about us. It's not me. Me.
Yeah.
There.
And remember, we said a lot of the communication comes more from the nonverbals than even the verbals. But some of the things that are happening in the facial expressions and the touch thing will indicate to you whether you're there or not.
And just be aware that some things are going to be hard to hear. There's no way around it. There are some things I don't want to hear, but you know what? Mm-hmm. It's going to make us better. If I have an infection, I've got to get rid of the infection. And
there was a situation that had happened where.
Time.
Oh, how much time do we have?
There.
We talk too much.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we'll get to it. Okay.
It's a communication. Anyhow,
See, I was effective. I shut up.
recognize those tough areas and be courageously gentle in approaching them. Sometimes, like as I was sharing about the time that I didn't feel lovable, that was really tough.
Mm-hmm.
And
there are
but
times
he was able to unpack that very gently. And
there are times where I can just tell that she's going into that space, and I don't have to do any more than that and say, let me just come over here, put my arms around you.
Right.
Just let you know that you are the most important person to me.
And I think we also need to understand we are not always going to be in agreement. That's a fact of life, not going to happen. But we need to come to a place of acceptance.
Mm-hmm.